Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the latest meeting of the Audit and Standards Committee. Do we have any apologies?
Apologies from Wendy Brocky, and I'm substituting for Wendy.
Item number 2 then, declarations of interest. Does anybody have any declarations of interest that we might need to make? No? Item number 3 then, the minutes of the previous meeting that we found on page 3. Is everybody in agreement that they're a true and accurate record of the meeting?
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you. We take those as being a true and accurate record of the meeting then.
Yeah.
Item number 4 then is the auditor's report on the closure of the audit for 22-23. And I think most of you know we've seen the vast majority of this before, but I don't think there's anything new in it. But does everybody any questions on it? Anybody got a question for me?
A question and a comment.
Yeah, okay.
Well, just to follow up what I think this committee said before, just congratulations to the finance team, because it's another good report from a technical point of view and from a professional point of view. So congratulations to the team. Keep us on, everybody, please.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I mean, I think we said this last time we received it. It's an excellent report. Doesn't really get much better than that. So I think the team's done extremely well. May it long continue. Item number 5 then is the proposed accounting policies, critical accounting judgments and sources of estimation uncertainty for the audit of the year just being completed. These are policies and things that we tend to look at each year, and we have to approve 2 of them and delegate the authority to agree these. Has everybody had a chance to look at them? Has anybody got any questions in relation to them?
Joe.
Did you want to say anything on these?
I was just. I have to hold it for a bit longer.
Oh, we're on. No, we're not. Well, you observed the judgment, right? Yeah, only introduce it really. With a couple of lines on the section 151 of the Local Government Act 1972. The section 151 also is required to select suitable accounting policies and make judgments and estimates that are reasonable and prudent. The Council's accounting policy, the specific principles, conventions, rules, and practices that are applied in the production and presentation of the statement of accounts. It's considered good practice to the Audit and Standards Committee to consider the accounting policies, but they're going to be applied to the statement of accounts. These remain largely unchanged between 2 and 23. That's all, Chairman.
That case, then, can we approve the accounting policies and the assumptions, and also delegate to the Service Director for Finance the ability to make further changes to the proposed accounting policies to reflect the release of new or updated guidance applicable? Yeah, we'll ask you that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Item number 6 then, the annual governance statement. Steve.
Okay, again, under the Accounts and Audit Regulation 2015, the Council is required. Under the Accounts and Audit Regulation 2015, the Council is required to publish an annual governance statement with the financial statements and emphasise the importance of embedding internal control within the process of risk management throughout the Council. The statement is published with the financial statements. In considering the approval of the statement, members should satisfy themselves that the statement is based upon relevant and reliable evidence. And I've got Mr. Turner sitting beside me, if anybody's got any complicated questions for him.
Anybody, any questions?
No.
No, in that case, then we're happy to approve the annual governance statement for 23-24. Yeah. Item number 7 then is the draft statement of accounts.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. This is the meeting of the evening, perhaps. I'm pleased to confirm that the council's draft statement of accounts of 23-24 are presented for approval by the Audit and Standards Committee ahead of the 1st of June publication deadline. The external audit of the accounts will commence during July and is expected to be completed prior to their final presentation back to the committee in September. This report focuses on reporting the provisional outturn position against the budget and the key elements of the statement of accounts. I'm delighted to report a small favourable variance of £7,000 against the budget for 24-25. The financial year has been a challenging one due to income shortfalls, a pay award that was in excess of that budget for, and pressures regarding supported and temporary accommodation. These challenges have been embraced and fully met, primarily via use of the cost of living reserve, which is established to meet inflationary demands, and from interest that has been received on cash investments during the year. Now, as I said, Mr. Turner is sitting beside me. Mr. Turner has actually done these accounts. So I think if anybody's got any questions, he's the man to answer them. And I'm sure knowing Craig as well, he will have answers for them.
Yeah, great. I was just going to ask, is there any,
Another one.
no, yeah,
He's on.
just in terms of the temporary accommodation, are there any kind of projections around that in terms of, you know, is it going to kind of, is it going to be, oh, is it going to be
Yeah.
stable?
Finger off.
That's it.
Is it going to be stable, or are the projections that it's likely to kind of get worse over the next year?
Yes, there are projections. We have a temporary and supported accommodation working group, which is made up of some people from the housing team that see a lot of these people face to face, a couple of people from our housing benefits team who pay the benefits, and try and recover the benefits for what we can for a lot of these properties. In the budget for 24-25, we put in a pressure as part of the budget setting for 450,000. So we're anticipating it will stay the same. But a lot of the work of the group is around ensuring that the providers of temporary accommodation fill in the right amount of forms that enable us to claim more benefits for people. So the 450 is a worst case scenario for this year, and we're doing a lot of work to try and get it reduced and to maximise the subsidy that we can get for it. We're looking at a number of other providers in addition to the current providers we have as well, and hopefully that should bring some competition in terms of pricing that's charged per room.
Okay, thanks, Craig. Thanks, Lord.
Yeah, can you comment how the start of 400 million overtime and temporary staff costs were then placed to recycling? How did that come about? Was that special demands on the service, taking extra temporary staffing, for example, could obviously cost a lot more than full-time staff? I mean, just off the top of your head, is there any sort of key driver of that 400 million overtime?
Couple of reasons and vacancies. So there's been quite a bit of to and fro. So agencies covered those. So if you look to the staffing spend overall for the waste service, then it's not quite as bad as what's in the report. With the size of the waste service as well, some sickness is inevitable, and it's a little different than a back office job. If a member of my team was off sick for a week, we wouldn't need to go out and cover that post. But in order to get the residents' waste and recycling collected, we inevitably need to get some agency cover in. So a bit of both, I think, is fair to say.
Thank you.
Yes, Jim.
hold it in front and then,
Yeah, mention later.
or in your case, not even.
Oh, yeah, there you go. And then press it again. Press it again now.
Yeah.
You're so privileged. All I would say is when looking at reports to do with finance or other things, you can say what is now. You can say what has been and how successful it's been. And I noticed the word assumptions. I would use the word forecasting, but assumptions is just as good. You can only guesstimate what that's going to be and give it your best shot. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's the same, sometimes it falls a little short of what's estimated. But in reports like this, you can only forecast what you think it's going to go with the trends. What happens external to the borough and its financial reporting can have an impact on it without you wanting it to. As in elections, as in things doing with banks, as in the change of interest rate and that sort of thing. So giving it your best shot, forecasting what's going to happen is just what it says on the tin, giving it your best shot and guesstimating it. So I don't think it's something that can be criticised or dwelt on. It just means that we have a vague idea of what it's going to be like, and hopefully it will be that or better. So it's just a comment chat.
You have the 1.4 million interest received. Is it likely, I suppose, the first question is, what have we put in for expected income from interest payments this time coming? And is it likely that that's sort of high? Or are we more likely to be spending that money right so on capital projects?
Our interest budget for 24-25 is nil,
Okay.
so we're not assuming any interest. We are receiving interest at the moment, so that's going to have to either present us with a surplus at the end of this year or to offset anything that goes against us. So just as an example, in here, we had the pay award that was about 400,000 more than what we thought. We've had some initial details about what the pay award might be for this year, and it's a little bit above what we've got in the budget. So the interest would be used to offset that. In terms of the capital stuff, then this year, the town deals and the future high streets projects are really getting going. So the amount of money we have in the bank will come down, and I can't imagine we're going to be earning £1.4 million worth of interest this year.
Okay.
But we might earn a few 100,000.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Do we have any more questions? No? In that case, then can we note the general fund outturn and the key issues, and also approve the draft statement of accounts for 2023-24? Can we approve them for publication and audit?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 8 then is the work programme. Page 173. Yeah. Obviously, we in July we'll be getting the accounts back, hopefully audited. I think the audit's pretty well on, isn't it, Craig?
No, they don't.
Go on.
They don't start the audits until July.
Right.
The accounts will come back here in September. Right at the end of September.
I should have read it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a number of things, but I don't think that anything there in particular we need to worry about. Anybody got any questions on the work plan? No? Okay, thank you. I've not been notified of any urgent business, so that concludes the meeting. So thank you everybody for coming, and we'll see you in July, if not before.